terms of, we focus a lot on puppy selection and raising for service programs. Is the C-BARQ useful for that, or are they too young at that age for that to be predictive?
It's too young. There have been a lot of studies over the years of the predictive power of early puppy tests. And the bulk of the evidence suggests that those tests are pretty useless. The only sort of slight proviso is with young puppies that are extremely fearful. And those puppies do seem to rarely recover from that. So, selecting out young puppies that are super fearful is probably a good thing. But the rest of the things that people measure in these puppy tests that are usually done when the puppies are about 7 or 8 weeks old aren't really predictive of any kind of adult behavior. And I don't really know why some organizations still do them. The C-BARQ wasn't designed to evaluate puppies. Whether you could, come up with a modified C-BARQ that could be used is another question. But again, my worry would be that, puppies of that age are so immature. I mean, their nervous system, for one thing, is not fully developed. So I wouldn't really expect them to, anything about them at that age, to really predict how they're going to be as adults.
And what age do you find there is predictability?
Well, we know there's some predictability at 6 months. Some people are saying we should try the C-BARQ at 4 months and it might be predictive then. But I think, the reality is that the earlier you go, the less predictive it will be. The problem is, you can only really, you can study the environment up to a point. And, we've done some of that with guide dogs, looking at aspects of the household environment to see whether any of that is predictive. And almost all of it is predictive, which again doesn't surprise me. The phenotype, in other words, the dog you eventually finish up with is very clearly a product of both its genes and its environment. And separating out the two is very difficult because, its genetic makeup is going to affect how it responds to its environment. So the two are kind of totally entangled. And it's very hard to say, oh, well, this aspect of this environment will always be bad for a dog, because it may depend on that dog's genetic makeup, whether or not it's bad for that dog. So yeah, these things are very complicated, but it's quite clear that the environment is very critical. And we know quite a lot already about the kinds of things that, dogs need to experience in order to be, well adjusted, if you like. Unfortunately, not all breeders and not all puppy owners seem to have got the message.
I agree. So it's very important who you place the dog with is as important as the dog.
Absolutely. I would agree.